Sanko! In today's episode of Hang Loose Recluse Internet Screenshots, we're gonna slow the voice down a bit because we've had reports from international followers that they can't keep up with the accent of Hang Loose Recluse. So in today's episode, we're gonna slow down the video content and talk to you a little bit slower. Now in this wrestling video, check this out. If wrestling is fake, explain this. In this next screenshot, breaking. Supreme Court rules that Donald Trump can run for president will remain on the 2024 ballot. And in this next screenshot, if you squint your eyes and put your screen away at arm's length, you can also see Donald Trump in this image. Now for some Daily Mail online news. Top Girls Football League faces being shut down by the Football Association for refusing to allow a boy to play in its matches. That's Clown World, folks. That's Clown World. What's this? Breaking. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese referred to the International Criminal Court accused of complicity in genocide, making him the first leader of a Western nation referred to the ICC under Article 15 of the Rome Statute. We'll go back to that later and show you some more about that one later in the video. And in this next episode of Why the Fuck Aren't We Using This Shit? Did you know 1 acre of hemp grown in a single season yields as much paper as up to 4 acres of trees? That concludes the Hang Loose Recluse Why the Fuck Aren't We Using This Shit segment. Sanko! Now for this next screenshot, it's not gun control, let's call it what it really is. Citizen disarmament. Sanko! In this next one, whenever one person stands up and says, wait a minute, this is wrong, it helps other people to do the same. Sanko! And in this screenshot, Miss Germany 2014 versus Miss Germany 2024 versus Miss Germany 2034. Ain't that the truth? That's what's coming. Sanko! In this next screenshot, imagine how much propaganda it took to convince people that this is the problem. That's right, folks, it's butter. And not this. That's right, canola oil, vegetable oil, all the seed oils. That's right. They used to always tell you that butter was the problem, not the seed oils. Oh, how times have changed. Next up in a book review, we've got a solid book review here. And this book's called How to Sleep Well. And it looks like the reviewer has really got into this book. Sanko! Some news out of Melbourne, Australia. A council has ceased all rollout of 5G following a legal submission by a resident stating that councillors would be held personally responsible for any and all adverse health effects from the radiation exposure. Well, I guess that made them feel safe and effective. Let's go back to a safe and effective flashback of August 2021. This is Western Australia here, and it says that masks are required statewide in all indoor public settings, even if fully vaccinated. Clown World. Sanko! Scientists warn that Earth could run out of conspiracy theories by 2025 if they keep coming true at the current rate. Sanko! The government created social media to monitor our lives and locations for control. But we changed the game up and used it to wake up the world. Checkmate. Sanko! And going back to Australian news here, is this corruption? Liberal Party members awarded a company $1.8 billion contract with no staff, no revenue, and no assets. That's right, Clown World. Who remembers this shot? Sir, ex-presidents can be indicted now. Sanko! Nothing says I voted for Joe Biden quite like this image here. That's right. Sanko! Hopefully this was slow enough for you folks at home. Now let's go back to breaking news of the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, who has been referred to the International Criminal Court as an accessory to genocide in Gaza, making him the first leader of a Western nation referred to the ICC under Article 15 of the Rome Statute. 100 plus Australian lawyers back this move. The document sets out a number of actions taken by the PM and other ministers and members of Parliament, including Foreign Minister Penny Wong and the Leader of the Opposition, for the prosecutor to consider and investigate. These include freezing $6 million in funding to the primary aid agency operating in Gaza, UNRWA, amid a humanitarian crisis based on unsubstantiated claims by Israel after the International Court of Justice had found it plausibly to be committing genocide in Gaza, providing military aid and approving defense exports to Israel, which could be used by the IDF in the course of the prima facie commission of genocide and crimes against humanity, ambiguously deploying an Australian military contingent to the region, where its location and exact role have not been disclosed, permitting Australians either explicitly or implicitly to travel to Israel to join the IDF and take part in its attacks on Gaza, providing unequivocal political support for Israel's actions, as evidenced by the political statements of the Prime Minister and other members of Parliament, including the leader of the opposition. You be the judge. Clown World. Thank you. And that's all we have for you tonight, folks. This was a Hang Loose Recluse Today's Internet in Screenshots. This is another Hang Loose Recluse production. Thank you. We hope this was read out slow enough for our international subscribers to understand the Australian accent. Thank you.